Hi, I don't know whether you've heard of the late Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, but I've read a number of his books over the years. My wife bought me a copy of a book called You'll See It When You Believe It by Dr. Wayne Dyer way back in 1990. And I guess I've been a bit of a follower of his literature ever since, and I have about 7 or 8 of his books on my bookshelves. No, I'm telling a fib, probably 6. The last book was called I Can See Clearly Now, and it's his autobiography. He had quite a life, a very successful life, and yet he died, I think, prematurely. He died in his 70s. I know he was 4 years younger than me, and I was quite surprised when I heard that he died. But getting away from that final book, I Can See Clearly Now, was really how he could review his life and see what life lessons he'd been presented with and how he'd helped people over the years. And I'm hoping that these videos in some way help you, because I'm pretty mature now in years and I won't be around forever. Well, at least not as Arthur Thomas Ware. So I've titled this particular presentation Goodness Gracious. No, not Goodness Gracious. What do you really want in retirement? What do you really want in retirement? By the time we retire, you'd expect that we would have worked out what's important to us and what is not important to us. One of the things we find hard to get rid of is our identification with our past life. We might be very, very clinging as far as that goes, very nostalgic, always looking towards or remembering the good things and not the pain and angst. That's the way human beings seem to be. But we really do need to let go of our actual identification with what we did in the past. Nothing wrong with being nostalgic. Nothing wrong with telling stories. I'm a storyteller and often tell stories out of my past experiences. No doubt you do the same. But what do we really want in retirement? I think it could be said, a meaningful life, that we still have meaning and purpose ahead of us, and that we are increasingly accepting of ourselves as we are now. In other words, growing into our own real identification, dropping away the facade, the ego, the wanting to be right, the wanting to be better, the wanting to be the best, the ambition, the worldly ambition. I think that gradually drops away as we mature. We become easier going. Really, you go along to a group of people who are old and there's little competition between them. They might be a bit vain about their past, but generally the competition has gone. With 20, 30 and 40-year-olds, it's different. Everybody's clamouring to get to the top. Nobody's quite sure what the top is, but obviously it's something very vague and nebulous. I guess you could describe it as a feeling we hope to have. And what's this feeling we hope to have? Success. Success. So many of us in our younger years forget about what we're doing now and live in this future, this nebulous, one day I'm going to be successful. And then eventually, suddenly, we're retired. What are we going to do? How do we want to be in our retirement? This is where, if we cling to our past, we could become very depressed. We could say, once I was very important, once I was contributing, once I was doing so much for everyone, once I was helping my family and my community, and now I'm over the hill, winding down, getting ready for God's waiting room. We could take that attitude, or we could say this: I am now probably at a peak in my life where I know a lot of things. I have wisdom. I still have my energies. I still have my faculties. I can contribute. I can be purposeful. I can really head towards an ideal self that I've always wanted to be, but never really defined until now. If you're coming up for retirement or recently retired, think what your ideal would be as being and doing in your retirement years. It'll give you an enthusiasm to carry forth and be and enjoy. My belief is this: whilst we think we are contributing to the common weal, making ourselves better, making those around us better, making the world better in general, in other words, we're contributing positively to the happiness of ourselves and others, we'll have a happy retirement. Think about that for a while. Think of all the things you can be grateful for, that you've made it to retirement, and feel grateful that you'll have years ahead to really contribute and make life for yourself and for others a happier one.